We are off and running. Welcome, everyone tuned in. YouTube, wherever you're listening from, you are now tuned in to the Veve Bros. The Veve Bros.
Inaugural podcast.
Ooh.
The first one ever.
First episode.
So, introductions are in order. I'm your boy, Veve Mescal. Some of y'all may or may not know me. You may know me from the music, from hip hop and shit and whatnot, but I'm going to write it down, the first cuss word. After I told them we're going to try not to cuss because we're going to keep this family friendly, and if one slips through, I'm going to edit this so, you know, if I don't edit out all the curse words. Anyway, my name is Veve Mescal, Veve Mescal, collector, rapper extraordinaire. To my left is my brother. Go ahead.
And this is Ben-Jammin. Username Benzos11 on the Veve app. If you can't find me, follow me.
Yep, and the middle one, Cisco Funk Vision 32. That is the handle.
And with our powers combined, we are the Veve Bros.
Veve Bros.
Come on, Ben.
These
You
guys
have to
know.
stick
They
your hand
don't
in
know
even though they
nothing.
can't
They're
see.
crazy.
Veve Bros.
So, like we said, an introduction is in order. We're launching this podcast as new users of Veve and the app we all know and love. And if you don't know, if you completely have no idea, if you just stumbled upon this right now, Veve is this awesome app where you're able to collect NFTs, specializing in Marvel Comics, Disney, a bunch of cool brands.
No gas fees.
No gas fees when you're purchasing your NFT. And they're all carbon neutral NFTs built on the Immutable X, which is a layer 2 solution built on Ethereum. So booyah, check out Veve if you don't know. But if you do know, shoot, there's a lot of new users, a lot of content creators. We're new to the app. We've been enjoying it. It's not only been cool to collect, but it's also been cool to reconnect with my brothers on this little journey of us nerding out and kind of living out our childhood once again. So that's why we're doing this. What's been your favorite part so far, Ben, if you want to give people a little background?
Well, if you're new to the app, I'm pretty sure you're dealing with the same issues on drop day where
FTB?
it's just gone.
FTB?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it. Just fuck the bots, because I know sometimes it's gonna take you a long time on the app to get one.
All right,
But I've gotten lucky on 2 drops. Luckily, I've never hit on a comic, but I've hit on collectibles, and I ended up with 2 rares.
comics are tough to get right now.
But hang in there. It's tough, but you'll hit eventually. The bots don't win them all.
And we got Cisco in the house.
Yeah, man, and basically, Mr. Veve Mescal, you understand, my brother's so impulsive. Once he got into it, he's like, dude, you gotta check it out. You gotta see it. Download this shit. Oh, write it down. Download it. Check it out. You gotta see it. I looked at it, downloaded it, tried a few drops. I was like, dude, this is impossible. I'm never gonna get one of these drops. It's not gonna happen. He's like, dude, they're dropping Steamboat Mick, Steamboat Willie. Just try, trust me. So I'm like, all right, set my alarm. Boom, hit on uncommon on the drop. And I was like, I think I could get into this stuff. Like, I think it can go really good. And instantly after, the market just shot up. And it just kind of clicked for me like, all right, that's pretty cool. Spent 60 gems, didn't have to break the bank to get in on it. And then even the best part of it for me is that you don't need to go anywhere to access it. Like, it's on your phone. You don't have to go to a shop. You don't have to seek it out beyond what's in your hands.
Well, I mean, that's the power of NFTs that a lot of people don't understand, that, you know, in the past, to have an asset or to have, you know, even these comics, even these cards, like, dude, we had Pokemon cards back in the day. Any ones that survived, they could be worth money nowadays, but, you know, it's hard to keep them. It's hard to keep them in mint condition when you're at that age too, when you're young. Like, for a kid nowadays, I could give Bart, who's Ben's son, I could give him, you know, Spider-Man right now, and he ain't gonna have to do nothing but save that in his phone. And he's 7 years old, 8 years old, and 10 years from now, 12 years from now, 15 years from now, and when he's in his 20s, he could just go back onto this app, even if he doesn't want to look at it ever again, log in with something we left for him, and it's preserved on the blockchain as this cool collectible you could keep, and on top of that, something that's gonna, you know, appreciate with time. So I think that's a theme with Veve I find myself on the fence with both, of being right in the middle of a collector and an investor. Because, you know, NFTs in the end are an investment. You know, they have, some of them offer utility where they can be giving you stuff for years and years to come. Others are just inherently valuable that they're the first of their kind on the blockchain, you know, and like anything else, that first, you know, it's hard to realize it sometimes.
Feels special to be this early in on it, and then when you
It's
hear,
like you don't
when you hear
realize
other people who were in even earlier than you, and they're like, no, we're still early, and it's like, dang, that's something to really acknowledge and like kind of keep that in the back pocket or back of your mind, like as far as like, all right, like this is kind of what it is, and you know you're not late to the party. You're in on it. Even you see the updates of the app, and it's like every so often you get something else, and they're trying to refine it. They're trying to get to that point.
Right.
I've even seen some like they're still in beta, kind of like we're early still.
And if you get worried about trusting an app like this, you can't cash out right now. So that's the one thing with you cannot, the money you put in with the gems, you cannot cash that out at the moment.
Right.
That's in the works.
And I'm sure as you told people that, like if you've explained Veve to people, when you hit that detail, it rubs all, it's a buzzkill.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, it's almost like it's like you're on a date with a chick and then like you're kicking it, everything's cool, you know, back when you were dating, and then she told you she's on her rag.
And in a way though, it's the
I don't have to bleep that out.
It's sort of the equivalent
It's
to
still for adults.
It's equivalent to staking your crypto in a way. If you're into crypto, you're staking it basically right now at this point because it's so early. You can't cash out. You can't touch that. So it's a gift and a curse because it's forcing you to hold that, make it a long-term investment right now, even if you didn't want it to be.
And to kind of add on that, like as far as staking, I think that's pretty cool too, because if you make a move in the app and say you sell something for something, it is kind of cool that you're kind of in a safe space right now where it holds you back, but also holds you up because you can't get rug pulled in a way. Most of the time, things don't go lower than list price, you know, on what they listed for. Now, not to say they don't, like Wonder Woman's an example right now. She listed at $40. She's at 38, 37. She's a rare example of what like you just don't see now. But the early dudes, they used to have it where the OGs, the fools who were on it for the first few months, they were able to go and pick and choose, and things would still be in stock even after a drop. And not only that, but they would get certain things under list price. And I mean, I don't even know if I can name right now. There's probably not even more than 5 collectibles on the entire thing that are below list price, you know, or at list price. You know, it's really rare to see because people can't cash out, so they can't deem it as you know, it's not worth anything. It's like, hey, like anything, I'm holding for the next wave or for the next investment. So the only thing that could ever really like make a thing go really down is just once more. If another Invisible Woman comes, 3 more come, and people have the choice and go, oh, this was the best one, then it could bring this one down even lower. You know, and the opposite could be true too.
Like Supergirl, everyone loves the new Supergirl that came out. They're looking at the other one and saying, even though that's FA, no, this is the one. It looks better just aesthetically, and just the cooler one to them. Like, it's one of those things.
Very true. So, you know, when MTL does come and people are able to take their money out, you know, we could see some of these items that are barely held up by the fact that no one can take their money out, and they may crash, or they may go to zero, or they may, you know, lose a lot of money, you know. So you have, you know, people who are listening, I mean, not financial advice. Everything we even say, we have to say that too. And I mean, it's kind of a given with any of this, but like anything else, if you hear us say something, you hear us say a move, or we're talking, or I'll talk about Omi and I'll talk about some of the things that I've learned. You know, full disclosure, I own some Omi. I own these Veve Collectibles. I am sipping the Kool-Aid. So our opinion on this thing is going to be very much, you know, pro Veve.
Stay positive. Stay positive.
And, you know, and there's some people, you say, hey, you can't take your money out. Nope, I'll never do it. Nope.
Yeah.
Hell no. Or like, you're crazy. You know, because they think of all the bad things that come. But it's like, man, this got Disney. This got Marvel. This got, you know, some huge brands. This got the United States Postal Service. Like you think they didn't check these guys out? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I would say even for the people who don't, I'm not really, I don't understand a lot of it either. Like at times, you know, as far as crypto and stuff, I'm still learning. But you have to educate yourself on it and the time you put in. But you see these guys like Gary Vee and people who are involved, and they're really pushing on it. And you see the Super Bowl tickets now. You're gonna get NFT if you go to the Super Bowl. And I just bought Batman tickets for the movie, and it's like you're gonna get an NFT and a comic for coming to watch it early. You're a super fan, and like everyone's incorporating it in some way. And yeah, not everyone understands it, but they have people who they hire who are gonna push it, who are gonna make it the new thing that everybody can. It's going to become more accessible. The easier it is for people to access it, the more it's going to blow up. And we're heading more and more down digital. Like, it's not going to go back to getting ticket stubs and things like that. And even with physical toys, they're trying to match up the toys that they have the NFT of, because that makes it more valuable in the collection. It's not just a one-off of, no, I have the actual Todd in my closet or in my collection. It's like, no, I want to get the digital one now. I want to get the NFT also.
And just to backtrack on them for people with fears, because it is real when you tell people you can't cash out. It just like, they're like, fuck that. Oh, my bad. But it's honest reaction. One thing that I liked about it that helped me, like, because even I was like, damn, you can't even cash out. You're buying these gems. You don't put any information in there. Besides, like, when you're signing up, you're putting your name, your email, you're setting up your account. But as far as you're not putting your credit card on there, it runs off your Apple Pay or your Google Pay. You just buying the gems like you're buying a in-app purchase on Candy Crush if you play Candy Crush or anything like that. That gave me peace of mind buying in. And you like my brother said, you see the companies that are involved. You don't have to second guess anything. Like, these are billion-dollar companies with who I don't even know the numbers in their markets alone. You're safe on this. I'd say it's a safe bet for people who are trying to get involved in NFTs. It's an easy way in. And like I said, the difference between this and like an OpenSea, you're paying gas fees. Talk to anyone. I know there's not many people. You might not know too many people that bought something on OpenSea, but if you ever do come across someone and ask them, there's a lot that goes into that purchase. This is right now being in the, I don't know if this is the beta phase of Veve, but right now you're in early, and it's a good spot to get in. You're not late.
So just to clear that up too, technically this is year one for Veve. All of last year was kind of their test run, and they actually did some drops for only China market, and then there was like, I think you saw that tweet that they put out that said 200 and something new users last year. And now this month, in January, they clocked 1.9 million active users. So for something to have a growth from 200, or however much it was in the triple digits, to 2 million, like, that's humongous. I'm not sure the math on it, but it's thousands, right, of a percentage of just like increase. So, I think one thing I noticed too when I started using this app is like, it's really addicting. It's really easy to get lost in that thing for not only just, again, the collector and the investor, right? We're somewhere in the middle because we see the value. Plus, for me, I'm into crypto. I've investing in crypto all of last year and learned as much as I could about it. And right when the crypto market was dipping, I had heard about Veve already and NFTs, and had bought a few and created a few too, just for my music and stuff. But the market was in a certain place where you as an investor are like, okay, let me look for alternative things to invest in right now while things are kind of just going sideways. You don't want to keep buying crypto while it just keeps buying a new low. So, and that's why you saw even in the Google search trends, you saw NFTs outtake crypto searches for the first time in December and January. And I'm one of those people in that wave where I had heard about Veve through Altcoin Daily when Disney Golden Moments got announced as Disney Plus Day. He covered it and said, yo, this is interesting. Disney doesn't always work with people. A big name and a big brand, and didn't really say anything besides that, just in a sense of, hey, this is further proof of adoption. If Disney is now tapping into the NFT space, you should pay attention. Then he just said they're on this app and Veve, blah, blah, blah. Didn't really say too much about it. And so that's when it got on my radar, like, okay, Disney. And I honestly, right when that happened, I said, go download the app and go get on it. I told myself, go just jump in. I didn't though. I didn't. If I had, then I would have been able to snag a Disney moment, golden moment. I would have been around for those drops, you know. So woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? But Altcoin Daily did put me on that Eiffel Tower, the land from OVR Marketplace, which is a metaverse. So that was one of the things when he did talk about that. The day he talked about it, I went and bought land in OVR. And the day he talked about golden moments, I was just gonna just bull rush into it. Okay, what can I go in and just buy, you know? Just to cover my bases, because I've been following him and with crypto enough that you'll get an update. You'll get a nugget of information. And then 6 months later, you get the follow-up story about how many people made crazy amounts of money and how this blew up.
Well, yeah,
And-
that's the part too about, like, you know, people see Bored Ape and they're like, man, if I would have known, or if I would have got in on it, it's like, all right, but there's all these different NFT. I get messages every day on Instagram. Hey, come join our Discord. Come join this. Like, come check it out. This is the next thing. This is the next thing. And it's like, all right, but you're more scared to get into that, right? But with this, even if I spent on a ultra rare or a common Spider-Man, it's like, I know there are Spider-Man fans. I know that this won't, it's not just this one, like they say, they make fun of NFTs. Every NFT is just different by the hair is longer or the eyes this, you know, like just that slight difference. But this is something that people actually recognize is actually ongoing, that other big companies are invested in, as far as like they're making money off of this. Yesterday, it was randomly on the TV, No Way Home. And I was like, oh, let me just watch this. Or Homecoming, Spider-Man Homecoming. Like, yeah, just, and I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie. I hadn't seen it in a while, but just casually having it on, I was like, everyone's going to gravitate to it. There's going to be new fans of it, even the original movies. Like, you can't go wrong with that. So, like, even when I jumped in the app at first, I saw certain things that were like 200 gems. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. People are spending 200 gems on that. And then 2 months later, it's like, oh, that's going for 900 gems now. It's like, okay, then we have a gem squeeze. Oh, it's down to 650. Had I jumped in at 200, I'd still be up regardless. And even with the gem squeezes that occur, with all the new people jumping into the app, it's like, eventually, if they want to get their hands on one of them, which a lot of people do, and it is scarce, the amounts are scarce, you're not going to take that big out. You just got to be patient and hold on to it. It's not going to dip. It doesn't feel like it's going to dip to zero. And when you see these whales who are spending their big money to buy up stuff, it's like, well, they're being smart with their investments too. Like,
from what I've seen and what I've learned and what you're touching on is like, collectibles have certain things that set them up and set them off. Obviously, the brand names, the Spider-Mans and stuff like that. And then they have catalysts, like we were talking about.
TV shows,
movies, drops, previews. When a trailer drops, collectibles tend to pump. You know, so if you can anticipate, like we were talking about Miles Morales comic book. That thing, I bought it right before it kind of just started going crazy. But when I got on the app, it was under under $70. And then I just saw it move up, and I said, shoot, I better buy it before it leaves the hundreds. And I bought it like at $88 or $90. Gems. Then it jumped over 200, and now it's back down to like 140, 150 right now. And I think it's still a good buy. You know, I bought one on Monday. I bought one for 118. So if fools were undercutting, it was like at 135. Someone threw it up for 118. I sniped it off the right when he dropped it. And now today it was like at 145, 155, because even at 130 something, it was only 2-3 comics away from being back in the 160s. So when you're buying, you kind of have to read that too. Like, where's the solid floor? You almost have to picture it as steps. And I seen this from some other video. I forgot who it was. I got to take better notes on the videos because I do want to give people their credit on YouTube, because there's a lot of great channels and that I've learned from and foods that have helped me get drops. So we will do a little segment on a future episode about like the top YouTubers that I'm liking. I know Cisco follows a lot of them, and Cisco is someone who like will watch the videos and do all that shit as far as like, keeping up with the different channels and what they have to offer.
Yeah, just trying to catch some gems, you know, like, I have a full-time job, I have a daughter, I'm not able to dive deep onto all these things all at once. But when I get that notification like, hey, check out this video, it's like, all right, that makes sense. You know, I still take what I get out of it. Like, shout out to my collectibles. Like, I watch some of these videos and it's like, oh, it's gonna pump now. I had my eye on it. Dang.
And there's some I don't like. There's YouTubers I don't like, and I think they're giving people some kind of bad advice too. Or they just sound so snobbish, because that's the investor side. So the collector.
That's what I was about to tell you. Like, this is all mostly right now what you're saying is from the investor side.
Right.
Collectors, from a collector's perspective, you're a collector. You're gonna hold on to it for a long time.
Right.
So you're like in a way better position just off mindset alone, because you're not gonna be checking what the price is because you got the one you wanted, and if you got the low mint you wanted, if you're going for that low mint because you do want your comic in your collection to be one of the best, you're gonna hold and you're not gonna second guess it at all. For the investor, you're looking at that like, boom, is my market pumping? Is it up? Is it down today? And then if you bought in when it was on a pump and then it dips $40 and you're right there like, damn, I should have waited. It's gonna happen, but they should all be kind of long-term plays. There's certain things you could flip on the immediate. There's certain techniques, but if you're really looking for it, don't feel bad if you bought something at the time where the market was saying it was a good buy, like a good buy, not you paying close to anything. It's gonna go back up.
Well, I mean, it's hard to time the market, but just to give your point, what you're saying about most people are collectors, I think that's true, because if you look at Steamboat Willie, we know how valuable that thing is. If you grew up, some people don't because they just don't know Disney. There's some fools I follow too, and they're just like, I don't know why these Disneys, I don't like them.
Shout out to Sylvia.
There's too many of them, you know. Our mom, for background, our mom worked at Disneyland, continues to work at Disneyland to this day, now going on 34, 35 years, right?
Yep.
So talk about like OG Disney families, like we are that. And there's certain YouTubers with big followings and they can't really appreciate how big Disney really is. And anyone listening to this, trust, we've seen it firsthand, not only hearing about it, but seeing it with our own two eyes, how much Disney and that brand and how loyal people are and how much ridiculous amounts of money these people have. And we got to see it from the inside in because our mom worked there. We got in free all the time. We got in a special guest.
We went trick-or-treating at
Disneyland when we were kids. We used to go knocking on the rides at Disneyland to get our candy. So you know what? That's how we used to stun on you kids. What were you guys trick-or-treating, huh?
Well, now they do it, but they pay for it. It was the cast member one we get hooked up.
Yeah, it was cast members only. And we would be in different things where, you know, I mean, even me and my brother Cisco have worked at Disneyland before. You know, I had a short stint working at Disneyland, which we'll get into on another episode. But anyway, just to hammer Ben's point, there's 18,000 of them Steamboat Mickeys, right? Of the common. There's 600 available listing. So that's less than, like, I don't know, I have math off the top of my head, but like 5-6%. So 95% of the people holding that aren't thinking about, I mean, even if they're thinking about selling, they're not putting it up for anything. They're not in a hurry to sell. They're not asking for a price on it because they are collectors. They're happy that they got it, and sure, it's worth something. They may not even give it, you know, they might not care what it's worth, you know.
And really, it's like I said, Veve Mescal, he's into crypto. He really dives into it since last year. I wasn't. I'm still learning at times, like, about it. But for me, I like gambling, and I'll gamble. I'll bet on a sports game. I'll do this. So, like, when you gamble, the number one rule is once that money's in, it's gone. Don't be mad. You put that 100 up, it's gone. If you walk away with 200, that's nice, but that 100 is gone. So if you're gonna hold and buy something or get something, you know, because you like it, there can actually be an interest in it. Like what Ben said, like you might have bought when it was like, oh man, this is 250, it's pumping up. Then you get it, and then it's like now it's 170. Oh man, like you're not gonna sell at 170. You might as well just hold it. Because there are more collectors coming in. There are more people joining the app. So as they come in, they're walking on the floor. Same thing I saw when it was like, oh, that's 250. That's crazy. Or that's 300. That's too much. A lot of those people are in that same boat. And some of them get those drops, and then they post it for a 30 gem gain. And you got to be quick. The sniper gang, you got to be quick to try to get some. And you can get lucky like that too. Like, well,
we do a thing where every time the comic drops, I try to take screenshots of all the people selling 3-digit mints at floor price. And those 3-digit mints, I mean, even if you just were to wait a year, just wait a year from today. Like, you got to drop, say tomorrow you get Black Panther, and you know, you're 20 gems away from getting your, you know, whatever you want, your Wonder Woman. And you're like, hey, I got a 3-digit Black Panther, I just want my 20 gems, right? And you go and you put like, no, just hold it for a year. Wait a few days for the $20. Or if you're new to the app and you don't realize this, which to us seems obvious, but to everyone's different, right? Some people will just get stuff and won't pay enough attention even to care. Like, hey, I got number, like you're saying, the number for the Disney Studios, 113, right? or A113 is A113 is their inside thing. We'll get into that because you picked up that gem too, and I saw that video. Shouts out to NFT Pirates, right? Who interviewed that lady from Disney. So anyway, some people don't know these things. They're not doing the extra research. I know some fool who won a Steamboat Willie ultra rare, you know, and like I said, I know 2 people who got it. The dude at 7-Eleven got one. So I actually know 3 people. And this dude, I know him from a mutual friend, and he's like, "Hey, I won that drop, and I got the ultra rare Steamboat." I was like, "Damn!" And I was like, "You got like at the time it was worth like $3,000. It was before the crazy pump, or it was like $4,000, 4.5." And I'm like, "Damn, that's nice, dude. Like, you gonna sell it?" He's like, "Nah, not until it hits like 10 G's." And I'm like, "Nah, even when it hits 10 G's, because that could happen like this." And he's all like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, maybe by this year at least." Hell no, that it almost hit 10 G's. It went like 9.5 this last run up. So. And it's still hovering at 7 something, right? 6, 7 something right now. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. These Disney things, you guys need to know. We'll give some cool stories along the way.
But also back on that, like the triple digits and the low mints. Basically, if you see people putting them up and they don't know what they're selling, they're just putting them up to sell it, get their gems. Later on in the future, those will not be around, and when they are around, they're going to be very expensive. You just got to think there's only 30,000 on most of the comic drops for the most of them. Some have 60,000, some have 70. There's even the few that have 10,000. And then there's the Spider-Man one that has 1,000.
Right.
All of those, the 10,000s, even if you get one, no matter the mint, all of those are basically low mints. There's only 10,000. And there's going to be millions of people on the app. There already is.
So pretty much if you can land a 4-digit, you already you probably doubled your floor at that point. And then go to the future when this common might be worth, you know, 150 or $2,000. If it's worth $2,000 for this common now, you know, and now you can double that just by sniping, you know, like Ben's saying, low sub mints. But you remember, I was doing that before anyone, even the YouTubers, even now they don't even talk about it. Is the sub 5% on a 30K drop? Sub 5% is 1,500 or lower. And just to get perspective, like I sold one of my it's the Spider-Man with the first appearance of the Green Goblin. That one right now, of Dr. Octopus. That one right now for the common is like $60. It's holding strong. It's a top 10 comic according to Comics and Crypto. Shouts out to them. I use them as a big help and reference. I had the rare one. The rare variation of that, and remember I had told you I sold it. I can't remember what I sold it for now, but it was like 270 or 2 whatever it was, and I think the floor price on it was like 150, 160, and I'd put it for 320, and then I just kept putting it lower, 310, 300, 290, and I think finally like at 280 someone bought it. Now, right now, the floor price on that sucker is like 160. So it's right now everything's dipping. That particular comic is holding strong and kind of coming up because probably Dr. Octopus he was just in the last Spider-Man, and it just has a catalyst like we were saying. But I actually was able to buy mine for like $60, and it was a sub 5%er. So, and it just shows you like you're able to raise the floor on those. But that one I regret selling now. But you know, the floor rose so much that you can't find any of those deals now like that. You know, they're harder to find. You have to kind of have your brain where like you're going to just pay more for them, especially the rares. And then the sub 5%ers. My point was I was looking for those back in December when I got on the app. So during the gem squeeze in December, because of the 12 days of Veve, is when I was telling you guys, yo, sub 5%, you know, because of the Comics and Crypto listing. They said anything sub 5% would be equivalent to having a 9.6 grade in real life. And if you know, 9.6 grades are like pretty much the best you can get in real life. Sure, there's 9.8s. Sure, there's 9.9s. Yeah, there's 9.10s. But that's like...
Those are the ultimate rare ones right there. That's
super rare.
Those
they
are
never
my family's down
out.
on their luck. I'm going to sell it now.
But just they never give those grades because that's as like him coming out of the factory new. Like, how did they preserve that thing? I think they've only given out a 10 once. You know, I think a 9.9 once, like, or a few times ever have they graded it. For the most part, if you took top care of your stuff, you're going to be around a 9.6. Or, you know, in right there, that's great. a lot of them, some of the comics in real life that are big in real life that are on the app right now that are cheap, they'll get 4.0 grades, 6.0 grades. So that's equivalent to having, say, a 8,000, a 9,000 mint, according to the comics in crypto. You know what I mean? Like, you're now like in the 50%, the 40%, the 30%. And in real life, you'd still get some pretty good money for even having that. So that's kind of the thing I had noticed from seeing their thing. And I told you guys, I'm buying all of these. I'm doing what Ben's doing now, but I did it at that time. And that's what kind of allowed me recently to clear out some of my comics. And I was still in profit, even though I was in a gem squeeze, you know. Even the one I sold today, I sold a Spider-Man, the first appearance of Carnage, sub 5%. It was actually 1008. So it's a 4-digit 1008, right above a 3-digit. And I think I got that one for like $75, and I sold it for like $90 today. Just because like I'm like, I don't really want to hold this one. It's not as important right now as opposed to getting a new one.
Just to say what he's saying, what I'm doing, because I have about somewhere around 25 to 28 triple-digit comics in my catalog, somewhere around there.
That's crazy.
Triple digit mints, and about 10 sub 500 mints, because I've sniped them. Pay a good price. Some of you people, I don't know who you are, but thank you, because you guys sometimes put them up for about $10 above the floor, $11 above the floor, and well, I'm happy for it.
Yeah, and another thing about that, as far as the mints go, like I saw, I forgot whose Instagram on it, they were posting about, you know, how Justin Bieber bought that Bored Ape because it was his birthday. And I looked and the number was 3001 and his birthday's March 1st. And it's like, that's not even the, like 3001, that's 3001, you know, like, but just because it had the 3 and the 0 and 0 and the 1, it went for big. So I get it. Like, people are like, yeah, what are the odds of that? What I would say too, I've posted stuff on the market before. And then when it, like, maybe, like how Ben says, not no triple digit, but maybe like $9 above the floor. And then it sells, and I'm like, wait. And I do a check, and they're like, no, the floor's still at where it's at. And I'm like, dang, that must have meant something to this person, or they saw something in it. It wasn't a low one that I valued. Some people that are
collecting in a certain way too.
Yes, exactly. So they want to match the mints. They want to do that, and like
they're trying to keep
along
going.
those lines too. Like the mint hunting and finding like those, you know, doing your research a little bit. Like I have the Storm, the Queen of Wakanda collectible, and the mint number has 414 in it, and she marries Black Panther in volume 4, number 14. That's when they get married. So it says it right there in the mint, 414. Like little gems like that, little things like that. That's what I look for. You know, I'm looking up what's the zip code of Queens, and let me get the the Spider-Man from right there. You know, like what's the, like looking up different types of things that maybe when these other collectors come in, they're waiting for you to post it. So like I don't always post at the floor unless if I'm trying to get some gems and it's like, you know, it rose a little bit.
You know, I got that Mickey Mouse lenticular 2222.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's
I
a
got
nice
that
one
they've
on
been
the
saying
drop
too. Yeah, I got that one on the drop, which we're gonna go through the drops through the new year. So like you guys, just to give my little story too, like I was saying, I don't remember when I jumped in on Veve. I was trying to get it down to like what was the thing that made me jump on it, because like I said, I heard about the golden moments, and then there had to be one more thing, one more piece of news or something that freaking got me, where once I downloaded and I made that account, it was over, you know. I jumped in. Well, actually, I jumped in, I had it, I looked at everything, didn't buy one thing, and was kind of like flabbergasted, like like why is, I'm like, dang dude, this freaking Disney statue is freaking $7,000. That's amazing. I would never pay that. That's a lot of money. Now it's 42,000. Man, if I mean that's the thing too, like you're kind of like, whoa, where do I even get
on the market? Like that's how much the people that
no dude, that's gonna be like
it's there's very little on the market. Like
that's gonna be $1 million NFT.
It'll blow your
easily,
mind when
man.
you look at it. And
so anyway, just to kind of get back to recapping these drops,
comics are the hardest. That's what I found in my time on the app. I've yet to hit on a comic.
I've gotten 2 comic hits by doing what I do, the align gate, where you click the buy now, but it isn't ready yet. So it says wait, and you align that with the okay, and you go over and double tap as fast as you can. And people were having a lot of success with that when I first got on the app. And then it just, I just would never hit. I hit Iron Fist with that, and I hit, I think Daredevil with it, and that's it. I've never hit another. I've only hit 2.
Yeah, I've never hit a comic at all in the drops. I honestly think that Steamboat Willie's my only hit that I've gotten on the drops, and it might be different things like Wi-Fi or it glitched on me or something like that. When I got that glitch to loading your transaction, I left it on for 40 minutes. Like maybe I'll be the first.
A bunch of people
to
got
get
that.
it, you know. And
especially
it's like,
on the battle statue, the Batman battle statue. Everyone was like, "Did I get it? It's same process."
I almost got the battle statue for $1.40 because I saw the thing pop up and I'm like, "What? Bye!" Just trying to make it load. My heart and my like, and then no, someone beat you to it. It got bought, and I'm like, man.
Yeah,
like,
I seen someone put Batman up for 1 gem.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Costed
People make
120,
mistakes.
and literally 10 seconds after the market opened, put it up for 1 gem.
That's the other thing too about this app that I've noticed or I found is that like some people were in early, but their interest wasn't high. They were just in it. So they have certain collectibles or certain comics that they got on the drop, and they're like, "Yeah, I just have it."
Well, I read comments like that
And-
too, where fools
and
are
then-
like, "I haven't been on the app in 9 months, but I had gotten this one, a Harley Quinn or a Batman," and they're like, "Whoa, this thing's worth."
No, so they also don't even notice
$1,000, $2,000.
They don't
now.
notice the trends because they're not checking in. And like, I've now found myself like, "Oh, I'm about to go sleep. Let me see what the market's doing. Let me go check out if anyone made a mistake by posting something lower than they should."
Don't sell any of your stuff on Sunday nights. It's like in the middle of the night, you're looking at stuff, everything's cheap, so you're like, "Man, I want to buy some stuff." And then you end up posting stuff, and then you're letting it go for cheap too. And then the next couple of days, it just rises and rises, and you're like, "Damn." So really, when you should sell is like middle of the week, in between the big drops on the weekend, because now you can unload like on Monday, Tuesday, and sell a few things while they're kind of up, and then by the weekend when things get a little more squeezed, you can buy the things that are cheap. And trust me, I've made the mistake. I've bought on Wednesdays, Thursdays. I was in Miami, bought Johnny Storm because he was up like at 250. He drops to like 220. I'm like looking, I see him at 215. Booyah, buy him. That was like 135 now. But he dropped all the way from like 250, 220, all the way down to 135. So right now is the best time to buy them. Yeah, you might be able to get them for even cheaper, 120, but you're not going to time them out to the very lowest, the 112, because one fool listed him as it. Then he just bounces right up from there. Because sometimes even listing low, I think psychologically is a flag to some people too. Like, if you're in the browse in the market and you see someone had listed something really low, and you go and you click on it, and then you go to the listing and it's like $62, but everything's 69, 71. And even seeing that, it kind of puts your brain on notice, like, dang, people are putting this one cheap. Let me go buy some up while I still have the chance. And I feel like when that happens, when people start seeing them cheap, they go and a bunch of foods start stacking or taking them off, and it raises the price really quick. So sometimes even showing a low, like the Miles Morales comic. I sniped one for 118. Someone put one at 118. The next one was 134. Right now it's going for like 145, 150. I got literally bought that one that was the lowest. I've been keeping a good eye on it. I bought that one that someone had listed, and if it had hung around and people had time to think about it, maybe even someone lists it lower and lower. So you can kind of tell too when you're stacking, when you start hitting the numbers under and you start grabbing them, and then they start going up a little, especially if you're buying more than one or two.
I do find searching the market though, when you're trying to snipe or you're trying to find that mistake by someone, it's if you ever wake up in the middle of the night like 3 a.m. and you just check out the market, you could get like really lucky because there's not as many people on. And so when people put those cheap comics up, or they even put collectibles up cheap, the sniping when they're gone like in a second, it doesn't happen as much. You have like a better chance. Like, here's just one example, because this is one of my best snipes, and it just happened. But I got a rare. It's of the Uncanny X-Men. It's the Happy X-Giving and then the rare cover has all the bad guys on it. It has Magneto, Juggernaut, Sabretooth, Mystique. You know, it's a pretty cool cover. There's only 2,300 of them.
Right, love that comic.
And I got number 461 for $125.
Ooh.
125. The next lowest sub 500 comic that's in the market, and there's only 74 in the market. But for sub 500, the cheapest one that's there right now is 1.5K gems. And someone just put that up. The market was the same. This wasn't like the market was down at 150 or
well, that's
200.
the thing. Well, look,
but someone put it up. That's
an amazing.
Like, boom.
That's an amazing buy. But at the same
wait,
time,
this is what I was gonna say. It's kind of hard when you're going like, see, that's a rare. So I would have had to been looking at the rare, right? I would have had to go to the Uncanny X-Men, X-Giving,
right.
click the rare, and then see that's the floor, right? That was like. Not, it wasn't even the floor, but close to it. But the technique I use for sniping is I go off the home page of the market. You can refresh that, and it'll show you. It'll refresh the comics.
It'll show you the newest.
It'll
listings.
refresh the collectibles, and you'll just see something like that, like a triple digit. Because it's kind of hard to go comic by comic.
No,
and
so
then go rare,
that was my
ultra
point.
Rare, find the snipe.
Say if you go on the market and it says new collectibles and it refreshes and gives you. I've done it where I've listed, closed the app, opened the app, went to the store, and my listing's right there. Veve Mescal, setting the new floor, right? Because I set the new floor, or I put up. That's why too, like with my Mickey Mouse, the 2222. I was like, damn, that Mickey's worth 700. If I put it up at 2 times over 1.4, I'm pretty sure it'll sell. That sucker will probably sell. That thing, the 222, they're saying they're going for like 10 times. They're 10xing the floor on some of those. For that Mickey Mouse one, like I even looked on the listings. No one won't even list a 1111, a 3333,
days and night.
or a 4444.
Exactly a week ago, there was a bunch of babies born on 2222.
Right.
There's a bunch of babies born on that day,
True.
just a week ago.
That
they would, and those Disney fanatics.
So I listed it today. Again, I put the 2222 up. I put it up for 9.999K or whatever, 9.9K. I even thought about putting it for 5K, but I'm like, someone will probably buy it. And that's what I'm kind of scared of, like putting it up and then someone going, yeah. And I'm like, what's that number that I'm comfortable with someone going, yep, I know that's worth more than 10 grand. I'll buy it at 10 grand and wait it out, and then, or it means something sentimental to me, and I'm a big collector, and I have mini at 3333. I have, this one at 4444, and I want the Mickey at 22, whatever it may, or that's my son's birthday, whatever it may be, right? And I'm like, all right, 10 G's would be the one that I'd be like cool with, because that'll give me like a year or two to kind of play with that money before that dang lenticular will probably catch up to that price, because it would only have to hit 2 racks on that lenticular, or even 3, where you could get with that type of number, repeat number, you could get, 2x, 3x easily. Like I think if I listed it for 2G, someone would buy it at 2.2. Someone said listed at 2.222, and that's what people do. I got 5555. I'll put 5.555. You know what I mean? But I listed at that. I would put 22,000, 222222, because that's what it's worth. And I'm like, all right, if I put 2.2, I'm almost sure someone would buy it
like that.
That's the other part too about these collectibles and these comics and stuff. Like, so if I wanted a collectible and I found out, some guy has it, he's going to be at this show, I can go get it from him. Like, he sets the market price and it's going to be that because that's the one in front of me. Otherwise, like, nope, you can buy it from anybody who posts it up. And when you have something that's like valuable to a certain someone, as I said about the mint numbers, like sometimes you don't know, like maybe they proposed on that day, or it was like a special thing for them, especially with the Disney stuff, because when you see, there's one dude, I have him on Instagram, I don't know how I see it, but it's like, or a Veve Instagram, but posting up Steamboat Willie at the Rams game, and he's like making him really big on the field, and he's freaking doing his thing, and it's like, all right, that's funny, but people who go to Disney and they want to do it, they want to use their wall right next to the statue.
There's some dude I follow, check
pictures.
this out, there's some dude I follow, he went, and this dude Kobe Collects, who's another like big influencer on YouTube, or someone who taps in a lot, and a lot of people know him, and he gives a lot of NFTs for raffles and stuff. Anyway, Kobe Collects, who doesn't even know this dude, just knows him from the YouTube community, sees that he's at Disneyland and sends him the partner statue. Just says, promise to send it back. I'll send it to you so you could get the picture. Sends it to him. He puts the picture and he's right there next to the statue. And I'm just like, okay, you hold the lenticulars. They do a section of Disneyland and they have the 5 frames or whatever it is, 6 frames. You go AR mode, and while you're there, only in that area, while you AR, you can do multiple ARs. And if you have the whole set, a special video or special interaction happens. And how many people could even own the whole set? Well, there's only the secret rare. There's only 4,000 of them, I think, of the Goofy. So there's only 4,444 people in the entire world, the maximum amount of people in the world of 5 billion people, that half of them love Disney. Only 44,444 people, or 4,444 people can do that, you know? So what are the odds that someone there, while you're there, say if you're at Disneyland, they do this thing that I had this vision. I'm like, all right, what are the odds that someone there will have it? Disneyland have to have a bunch of people. There's probably pretty rare, you know? You would just have to be there at the right time with it to see whatever it is. And, you know, I was thinking about like that. I'm like, imagine then that comes the utility of you renting it. But I was just like, that would be so cool.
Well,
or if you have
that was the big pull for me too. Even when I got the Steamboat Willie, and like the fact that Disney was on the app and Disney was like the drop in, I was like, yeah, I knew the significance as soon as I saw it. Like, all right, I have to try for this. I said, set the alarm, make sure I try for it at least. At very least, I tried for it. No, I didn't get it. I ended up getting one, the uncommon. But we worked at Disneyland. When you work at Disneyland, you're not in uniform. You're in costume. When you're on the job, when you're at Disneyland working, you're not there. You're on stage. Everything is for the show. Everything is for the experience. Like it's calculated. It's supposed to be that way. It's like this thing. You know, if you see a part of the rail that's chipped, the paint is chipped, and you say, oh, look, or someone notices it, they literally paint it within an hour. They'll send someone out there and fix it because it's supposed to be the experience. So when you know about like how NFTs and the functionality of them and how they can get you to special parties or special things like that, like imagine when they start incorporating these things, like you're saying, you know, where it's not just that you're saying what's the odds. You're saying what's the odds?
Willie cruise. Like,
no, but you're saying what's the odds
when I'm
of
on
you
Disneyland, like, oh, you have to have a Steamboat Willie
exactly
in order to get on
that's what I'm
this,
saying. You're saying what's the odds
thing.
of you being there? It's like, dude, Scion, the car company. I don't even know if they make Scions anymore.
What are the
but
odds of someone holding the entire set?
No, but my point is that the odds of
4,000 people in the world, and you're there with them, and they're able to do it.
Well, they'll be invited. That's my point.
You know what I mean?
They'll be told, hey, you should come out because you have it. If you did, it'll be an announcement at that point. You get me? Like I said, people with a Scion can go
social
to
thing. Like imagine, like they had the frames on the wall, and you're there, and some people don't even know what it is, and then you're the one dude with your phone. And you have the whole set, and you line them up, and boom, the whole thing, lights start, and this whole other show happens, and everyone's like, what the hell? And you're just like, ha, 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 like, I got this. People are like, wait, what is that? Disney fans there would be a millionaire there who literally would be like, how did you do that, poor kid from the slums? I'm a part of the 33 club. I've been coming to Disneyland. I'm a all this stuff, right? I'm a Mickey Mouse member. I've been I paid this. I paid that. I was at Disneyland when it opened in Beijing and in Tokyo and in Paris or wherever they're at, right? That guy. And then you're gonna go, no, I got it on an app because I've been on it since so and so, right? This guy will pay anything to be that dude who sets that off. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and you don't have to sell it. You could just rent it.
No, and so like even that picture of Walt Disney with the statue and the dude like I'm talking about, forgot his name, Dino Lang or something on YouTube, and Kobe Collect sent him that picture. When that like once that takes off, that people are like, damn, only 8,000 people in the whole world can have that picture. You know what I mean? Like. It's that status, you know.
That's the other part too. Well, for us, you know, East LA, right here, out here, like Anaheim is the original Disney. That is Disneyland. That's where it's at. Walt Disney started it right there. You know, it's not anywhere else. It's right here in California. And not only that is, when you think about the catalog or like the character list of Disney, even how Encanto, my daughter watches it 3 times a day. Encanto? She doesn't talk a lot, but she knows that word and she'll put it. She don't talk about Bruno, she'll wave her hand. No, she knows. You know, like, so when they start doing all these other FAs and people who are like, you know, there's so many FAs, still that are gonna come out no matter what.
Right.
Like when they finally do Monsters Inc. or do Woody and Buzz, like there's gonna be
And that's
so
just
many
Disney.
fans.
That's
Right,
just
right.
Disney alone. There's so many more companies on the app.
No,
where
yeah.
it's just like
and that's why
with the cult fan following. Then that's what these have.
So that's what you have to say. Like,
Like-
we're that early. Like sometimes it doesn't make sense. You don't even realize it. Like, am I this early? Like when even I was breaking down the comics, like, and you really won't know until you give it time. We won't know until another year, 2 years, 3 years, really how much and how
It's
far
about
this
holding
runs.
it. Yep.
You
But
know,
I mean, also too, like I've read one of my comics the other day and did the AR. It's pretty cool. You can make the comic as big as you want. It's really cool to read it.
I actually
You
never
flip
done the
page.
AR of a
Yeah,
comic.
you could flip the page and everything, and it's,
You know what I'm doing
it's,
right now?
it's honestly pretty cool. I was doing it, read that at work.
Because I do want to read
It was pretty cool.
read my Kang the Conqueror comic, my Avengers #8.
You could put it as the size of the wall and just like read it however you want, like see it that big. It's pretty cool.
Which, by the
Yeah,
way,
same.
was my big pickup this week, which we'll go over in VV Plays, which will be a segment we're going to do right now. But the last thing, well, not the last thing that I wanted to do, I think I just lost it. Oh, yeah, real quick. I wanted to go through the drops real quick from this year and kind of just let people know where we're at, and then that way we could update them from here. So, you know, as we all know, December was a crazy month for the app. If you came into the app in December, it was actually a great time to come in. Anything you bought in December went up in January. It's amazing. It was amazing. I bought Steve Rogers' Mighty Marvel for $47, and even it was worth 30, and I caught it right as it was moving up, and it topped off like a 250, you know, in January. So I bought that sucker maybe end of December, you know, and within 2-3 weeks it had already 4 or 5x, you know, and 4, 5x, 1x, 2x. That's just crypto terms for anyone who doesn't know. It just means when you get an X, that means you got 100% return on your investment. So by the time, you know, Steve Rogers hits $90, I 1x, you know, and he hit all the way up to 250. So,
And the other thing people like miss on that, because I got a uncommon Steve Rogers, but not the Mighty Marvel. The other one's more lifelike of him, and it was like at 58 or 60, and then it pumped to like 280 at one point, or like 230, whatever it was. Now it's back down to like 120 or whatever. I'm not gonna sell it right now, but remember, in the movies, in the Marvel universe, you know, like Steve Rogers is old now. That's it. He's retired. He's done. Like, he's not gonna be in the future movies of them unless they make a different character,
Right.
like a different universe that he's a part of. But like these little facts about those characters and what they're doing with them, even with Sam Wilson. You see the Sam Wilson on Disney Plus.
He's gonna be the new Captain America.
Captain America.
I mean,
Now
he
they're
is.
transitioning.
He's the
They're-
current Captain America.
make a movie for him, everything, you know, like all those things that come out. It's like, yeah, well, you can literally find your own avenue of like what you're focusing on or paying attention to, and be like, oh, be the one who's like early on it, because not
Right.
everyone's. You can't. It's almost impossible to play every single play that's coming out with
Yeah,
these
yeah,
drops
and
and
I
everything.
think they were talking about that on the NFT Pirates interview with Comics and Crypto. They said, you know, you're gonna have to choose your lane and kind of choose the genre, not genre, but the collectibles and the stuff you're into, because it is gonna be, it's just gonna get too ridiculous. So with
Also along that though, you don't know them off the top of my head, but there are, like, if you go to your profile, it's gonna say how many comics you have, how many collectibles, and then how many complete sets you have, how many sets. So there are a few sets in the market that you can go and buy every single one. You could buy the whole set for under $1,000. There are a few things there are a few of them that you can go out there and get. You just have to look for them, and regardless, those, even if you're not familiar with it, I mean, I don't know how the grading system's gonna go, but it'd probably be good to have a few complete sets, and some are, you know, depending on your money.
well, if you're looking to sell later on, you got a full set, you just increased all your money, because you're gonna be able to get what they're worth individually, and probably a little bit of a premium because you've already done the collecting. So someone with money is gonna be able to just be like, yo, I want all 4. You got all 4? Boom, I'll buy them, you know? Anyway, I wanted to segue into kind of catching up, you know, for our own thing too. I mean, besides the people we're talking to and who may be listening, I think this is really cool and important for our own journey, you know, as we make our way through this Veve and this Veve app, and honestly this Veve universe, because it's a metaverse. It's the Veve verse. If you don't know that, like anyone who may not know, yeah, this is the coin Omi is a metaverse coin. Veve is building its own metaverse. All of these things and these NFTs and these drops will have future implementations, or I can't even think of
Implementations.
what is it?
Implications.
Implications in the metaverse. I'm sorry, I'm drinking some Michelob Ultra, so we're drinking some juice. Okay. Anyway, let's fast forward to the start of this year. Maybe we'll go over the December drops at some point. Just to speed through those December drops, I hit a bunch of those mofos. So I was happy as hell. Cisco hit his first one with the Steamboat Willie. But let's get past what was the 12 days of Veve and the gem squeeze, and let's get into this new year. For anyone who's joined the app since the new year, because there is a lot of new users, you've been with us, and here's been our journey. The first drop of the new year, if you guys remember, was Daredevil issue number 131 with the dude who throws darts. I forgot homeboy's name. Bullseye, maybe. I think I actually hit this comic drop, if I'm not mistaken. I'm almost no. Actually, I didn't. I didn't hit this one. And ended up buying in the market while everything was freaking hot, and I bought like a common sub 5% for like $60 on drop day, which honestly isn't too bad, but I probably could have gotten it cheaper, because we'll talk about drop day rules as we roll along. But did you guys didn't hit that one?
On that one, I didn't, but in the market, I got a sub 5% for $35. And that's less than double the floor. It's only about $19 above the floor.
Yeah, and I don't remember the exact price. My phone isn't loading, but I did get the uncommon, and then I grabbed the rare because someone posted up for very little, and the rare looks cool too because it's Bullseye by himself in full color, and everything else is black and white. The uncommon is Daredevil in full color, everything else black and white, which is the same as the common. Just
so you guys are both still holding that comic. I actually got that comic that day, and I sold recently. I'm pretty sure I took like a gem loss on that one.
Yeah, I don't think I've listed a comic on the market unless I had more than one.
Well,
as of right now.
Well, you saw what I did. I had like 50 comics at one point, and now I'm down to like 20 comics. So I cleared house pretty substantially to make some moves, but we'll get into that on the Veve move section because there's a lot of cover on that. We'll keep moving along. After that, on January 6th, they dropped the Hulk. This is issue 347. It's with the Hulk split personality called the Fixer, Mr. Fix-It. This one was a cool one. It had a low mint count, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, only 10,000.
Only 10,000. I think I had bought this one too. The cover, the common, a low mint, and I think I'd paid like $50 or $60 or something. I paid something kind of ridiculous. Anyway,
I got the
what'd
common.
you get?
I got the common number 409 on that one for the Hulk for $79, which is also less than double the floor. It's only about it's exactly $35 above the floor. But like I said, sub 500 of that one, and there's only 10,000 copies on that one. So that guy, I don't know, that was on drop day. He must have just wanted to get rid of it.
How much did you pay for it?
79.
So yeah, I would imagine at some point
That's a sub 5%
the floor of
on
that
10,000.
comic is going to be $79. And at that point, you'll be able to sell that sucker for probably 3 times, 4 times the floor, or, base it off of what the market's looking like. So I would give that a good buy. I bought that sucker. Like I said, I love the cover because he got the gun, he got the money, he got the women.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is a crazy ass cover, dude. Like, when you look at it.
Yeah, I actually got the
shotgun.
uncommon. I actually got the uncommon one on that comic like
Cisco
2 days ago.
uncommon.
And I think it was like 25 over the floor, but it was sub 500, so that's sub 5% off of the 10K of the issues that there are. And the gem that I saw, as far as like just said, doing my little Stanley research, just looking stuff up, seeing what it is. Like originally, the Hulk was supposed to be gray. he was supposed to be gray by design, and they couldn't get the ink to print out properly on the comics, so he came out green. He kept coming out green. So the Hulk's green. But according to Stan Lee's plan, he wanted him to be gray to be more inclusive to everybody.
Crazy.
And like that's a little gem that other people might know and hold on to. So it's like, yeah, 10,000 mints of this, sub 500. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. Like I'll pull that trigger on it. Like I said, the gamble side of it is like, I hold on to it. I don't spend anything, not financial advice. I don't spend anything that I'm gonna miss or that like, you know, like I make sure my family's taken care of, my rent, everything's good. So it's like, all right,
and
I see it this way.
And that's something too. Like some people have been putting money into the app that they can't really afford to take out. So you guys, you know, be careful with that. You know, because unfortunately you can't get that money out. Or there's these shady pages and some of the stuff that I've heard, because I've heard it's happening pretty frequent, where people are selling their gems at like 50%, 60% of what the gems are worth. So, I mean, man, you might look back and regret that when you let go of a golden moment and you let it go at half. You know, you got a Homer and Bart, and you let it go for $800, $900 to some random person, and just because you got eager to not be able to cash this out, it's like selling Bitcoin. It's like you got Bitcoin like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and you have it locked away in like a staking pool. Yep, you got it locked away in a staking pool or something, or you have it in this wallet that you can't access, and you sell it to someone for cash, and you give them that, you know, that wallet, or you give them that access, or, you know, give them the whatever. It's like doing that. It's like, come on, dude, you're selling something at half its price that's gonna go up probably more than you can even imagine.
Yep.
Because yeah, some of these things, but it's hard to realize, and you know, other people have overextended themselves. It's hard to really grasp how early we are. Anyway, moving along, we got January 8th, we got our third drop of the year, and it was the Myrmicornos. You remember these Myrmicornos?
Yeah, I didn't go for them.
I went for it. I think I went for the actually, I think I missed this one. And I thought about picking some up in the app, in the market. At the time, I was buying everything. Like I said, I bought the Daredevil. I FOMO'd into the Incredible Hulk. I paid way too high. It ended up coming down like 3 hours later. The Myrmicorno, I was about to buy it, but I didn't. So we'll just get past the Myrmicorno.
I also didn't get the Amazing Spider-Man, which is the next one.
And then we had two drops on January 11th. One was the Amazing Spider-Man issue 798. This one has that cool cover with him and the Green Goblin fighting on the speeder. I actually sniped this one. It was one of mine where I was just sniping. So if anyone posted it under like $17, I just try to buy it. And I ended up buying like 4 of these things at like $17. And then I sold them all over like $23, just making like a 2 or 3 gem little up. But it was just like, I just gave it a shot, you know, because I know people who do that. So I was like, hey, you know, I'm going to try this whole little sniping thing and see if I could come up on a few, maybe get a triple digit, maybe sell it 2-3 times above floor. Because, you know, it sucks when you try to snipe and you see a dope triple digit, like it happened to me on the last comic drop, or like 2 comic drops ago, where boom, I'm on the market. I see one, sub 500 going for $17. The floor is like $20. But some dude listed for 17. I try to go and buy it, miss it. The guy beats me.
You just missed it.
2 seconds later, it gets relisted at like $110, or like if the floor is $20, $85. You know, three to 4 times over, and you're like, damn, that mofo. He just got it for 17. He's about to flip it for 80 and make a cool little $60 just for being quick on the draw. Anyway, I did that with this one. I ended up selling all of those at some point to buy some other stuff. Next, on the same day, we had January 11th, we had the Serial Killer as well drop, and it was this Lucky Charms looking dude, the fat one, and it was a golden one, and I'm pretty sure, see, this was a special drop. This is the second time that the Ron English has done this, but if you held the full set, you got this special drop. You were notified, I guess,
a
and
collector,
and invited to get this one.
No, you had to have all 3 sets
All 3 sets. Okay.
prior. Yeah.
So it's interesting because Golden Moments, right? They hinted towards Golden Moments. One of the top dogs from Veve, I forgot who it is, but on his Twitter, he posted the Golden Moments background with the little glitter and stuff. The last time he did that is when Golden Moments dropped. He did that like 10 days ago, or like 5 days ago, 6 days ago. So that's why too. It's another reason people are like, oh man, are they going to do another round of Golden Moments? What's going to happen? Or I'm thinking they might do a special drop for the people who hold the set. If you hold the full Golden Moments set, they might do a special one, like maybe, you know, as I've been kind of tripping out on Disney stuff, but I was like watching Fantasia with Baby Mickey, and I'm like, man, there's a lot from here, you know, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, they already have his hat. Like maybe they do something else Mickey related, you know, for that. Like maybe him on the mountaintop with the waves hitting, like some type of cool NFT for anyone who's holding the set. Anyway, January 13th, we got Alpha Flight. Now this one I went for, didn't get, and this moment right here on January 13th, when I saw the market react to this, is when I started changing my sentiment on the market a little. Like this one is like, well, first of all, did you guys get the drop?
I didn't even try to get this one.
This one, nah.
Tried and didn't get it. Like I said, I don't think I've ever gotten the comic. And I'll try because it's $6.99. You know, and most of the time I have that many gems already in the app. That's the other part. You know, when you have to add more and you're trying to do it and then you don't get it. I said the day that the Battle Batman dropped, some dude listed it for 200 or 325, and I needed to add that. And I was like, buy. Added the gems, and then it was gone. You know, by mistake, just pressing the button all fast. And it's like, yeah, once the gems are in, they're in. You know, like there's no gating them out. So with the comics, it's like, yeah, I'll go for it because it's $7.
Yeah, and then you can end up getting a secret rare, and it could totally flip your wallet as far as like you get a really good one. Anyway, went for it, didn't get it. And I was really surprised how the market held this one up. I actually haven't looked to even buy it anymore. But, you know, I follow comics and crypto. I try to do a little research. This is a cool comic, but it's definitely not up there as one of the best ones ever. And it's not one that personally, like, I would see, like, trying to snipe and trying to pay 3 times above floor price and da-da-da. Like, of course, if you're early enough, you're going to get a return, but sometimes that 90 gems, 100 gems could be put somewhere else, you know? Like if you've sniped 7 comics for 100 gems, those 7 comics might not outperform Steamboat Willie, and Steamboat Willie's at $700. So you have to really start looking at your portfolio, like, and at your collection and being like, what's going to be there? Is Alpha Flight going to be out of my reach in a year? I mean, even in the best case scenario, if this sucker's at $100, if it's at Miles Morales status, what Miles Morales is now at 150, this doesn't have the catalyst, the hype, the history, the recognition to even be at where Miles Morales is now. So how could this thing ever get to 150 if Miles Morales, even having all those things, having his own movie, is still sitting at 150 to this market? That's what they value it at, right? Which Cisco saw a video, he had mentioned it, and I happened to stumble upon it as well. And we'll do a bigger breakdown on another episode on that video. But Homeboy dropped some really good gems about comics, and he really made me change my outlook on as far as my collecting strategy just for now. I want to own them all. I do want every comic in this app. I have no doubt that they'll all be worth something. But there's certain ones right now that you're going to look back. You're going to look back just 9 months from now, a year from now, when we're on this podcast, and we're going to be like, damn, we should have bought that one. Or damn, we should have bought 2 or 3 of those back when they were 150, back when that was 170, because that felt like a lot. But now that sucker's at 2 G's. Now that thing's at 3 G's. We didn't think a common comic book could hit 2 G's, right? It's like, no, it's coming.
Yep.
Marvel Comics #1 will probably hit 2 G's the next time the market goes up, because it peaked at $850, $900. And we're going to at least 1x to 1.5. I would even say 2x the next bull run. So that's how these things work. They're gonna get to their old all-time high just to get people satisfied. Do you know what I mean? So if it's at 400 right now and its peak was 850, when it gets to 850 again, no one's gonna care. It's gonna be like, oh, it's at its old all-time high. Like, that's what I'm comfortable at seeing it at. Then when it gets to 1200, 1500, 1600, human psyche kicks in and you're like, man, oh, I'm gonna miss it. And everyone, their mom starts buying it, shoots it over 2Gs, and if you're the fool who bought it at 400, 200, $10, whatever price point, when you see it hit 2Gs, that's when you unload, and naturally the market comes right back down. So that's all I'm saying. Like,
well, yeah, especially speaking on that Miles Morales one. Like, so for us too, like you said, we would geek out. We were all into Dragon Ball Z. We were into the Marvel stuff and everything. I'd watch Iron Man. I watched Iron Man 1 the other day, and it was like, yeah, this was a long time ago. It's crazy how the graphics are and where they're at and what they've already built. They're not just going to let that go. Even with the Miles Morales being the first animated movie they did, and that opens up so many, like, you don't need, if the actor gets older, that's fine. If, you know, like certain things that you don't have to keep up with because it's not the live action, that can still extend, even though they're talking about him being in the live action. Like, right. That, you said the catalyst.
Well, that movie was especially because it had the animated, but it felt kind of like a comic book still.
No, it was awesome.
And they killed it. That movie was one of those ones that you're like, oh man, you see it, like, that was a great one. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so to your point, like, you know, like when you see these numbers or you see where it's at, it's like, well if you're trying to make an investment, these are the ones that it's like, go with the ones that you feel like you're passionate about or you're into, or you think, oh yeah, this has a big
this Alpha Flight doesn't have those things, but yet I saw the market treat it as if it was. These things stood at $50.
Well, it's the one
even Canadian, the next day, there's only 10,000 copies though.
Right. Well. Right. Scarcity does you know, play its part, but it just kind of shocked me when I saw that. I don't even know what it's at right now. But anyway, little did we know is that we were right there at the point of the bull run kicking full into steam. So right around this time, around the 13th of January, and I don't need a chart. I don't need Veve Wiki to even see this. And if you don't know what Veve Wiki is, that's the chart system. They got Cherry Charts too. These are all websites you can pay for the information. These fools charge a fee for it, which there's a little war going on with that, but that's another side story, because some people think it isn't fair that Veve doesn't offer this information outright to the public about where its prices have been, you know, because it just means another reason that investor, you know, collector investor, Vive's more focused on the collector aspect, because an investor's like, okay, where was the price at last month? I don't know. What do you mean? You got to write it down? Like, yeah, it's like old school comics. There wasn't a book that told you. It'll just tell you where it is now. And if you wanted to know, you needed to know. You had to have the book from December. Or you had to have the book from anyway. That's where I noticed that's where my strategy started to change, right? Now let's keep moving. January 15th, we got the Fantastic Four drop. We have Invisible Woman. This one, in particular, I didn't hit, which I was really disappointed because I was really hoping I would, and I had some pretty good luck with the blind boxes, and I didn't hit, but Ben's.
I hit. That was my first ever drop victory.
How's that feeling? That's the thing about.
It told me I got a rare too, so I was like really, really pumped up.
That's the thing about how tough Veve is. It's like that. It's like that thing, right? It denies you. It hurts you. You hate it
when you win.
But when you're the one,
yep,
it's the best feeling ever in the world. Honestly, it's an adrenaline rush.
I remember my first drop. I was like super pumped up. I mean, she hasn't.
My first drop, I hit a rare too.
Pumped too much.
That beginner's luck is real. When your first drop hits, call the algorithm whatever you want. But when you're a beginner and you get your first drop, you be getting the good stuff. It usually hooks you up. It usually isn't a common. You know, it's weird, but Mad Max's brother hit a rare on his first one. Ben hit a rare on his first one. I hit a rare. I hit the Voltron rare on my first one. Cisco hit the Steamboat Uncommon, which is just as much as a rare if you think about it. Like, and then the other one being the ultra rare, you know. Yeah. Just to talk about Invisible Woman a bit. People, I've heard a lot of even influencers and people on YouTube hate on this NFT. And right now, the common is going under listing price. It is cheaper than $40. I own 4 of them. I got 3 6 digits, one sub 500, one sub 800, and then I have 2 4-digit of hers, and I bought them all for $100. I mean, under $100.
Under 100, yeah.
The 2 4-digit ones I got for under $40 recently. So I got them at the 38, 39, and I'm like, man, I'll buy a few more. You know, I just feel like this is our opportunity if you're new to the app. You know, there was a time where Wonder Woman, the FA Wonder Woman was going for $80, $100. You know what I mean? And people might have thought, and I was telling my brothers this too, like told you guys, is like, man, when I got on the app, some stuff felt expensive. Like I'm saying, like I was looking at the Bart and Homer golden moments. It was like $600, $600, and that felt expensive. And I'm like, damn, you know, which one's the best one? Obviously, the Walt one. It's always going to feel out of reach, you know? Even at that time, I'm telling you, it was like 7K, 7.5. I was like, wow, that's amazing. 7.5, this thing just dropped. This thing is dope, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, you look back now and you're like, man, that one, this is our opportunity right now with items like the new ones. Like even the ones that just dropped, the pilly ones, you know, we'll get to it. I don't own any, but we'll get to it. Anyway, we got the veal specimens that dropped the next day. It was the Jermaine Rogers. Did you guys go for this one?
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, I went for it, didn't get it. Just that one was one that you had to pick which one you're going for. If you're going for the rare or the common, you have to like actually select which one you're going for.
Right.
I got greedy, went for the rare. I mean, either way, how greedy are you? If, even the common, there's so many users, like you don't know who's gonna go for it necessarily. And then remember, these artists have their own followings already, and that's the one NFT on this, or the one drop on the app that does get promoted. If there's an artist dropping something, he or she is posting on their page like, hey, this is coming out, like I'm doing this collab or I'm doing this special thing. So like they do have the fan base like aware from outside the app.
That
you know?
brings in
Plus, just for these, Jermaine Rogers and certain other artists, they have some of their stuff already on OpenSea. So some of these drops, and from the decon, from the decon pieces, they got they have their stuff on OpenSea, so they might be the first collectibles that are able to leave the app. That's the speculation. Anyway, we move on to January 17th, and we're just gonna go down the whole list because Veve did something. Veve did something it's never done before, and it gave us 6 comics in 6 days, which was crazy. And they were all Spider-Man, and there was the character arc for Kraven the Hunter. Again, when I'm on YouTube watching, I was disappointed in how many YouTube influencers and people didn't know who Kraven the Hunter is. And I'm like, man, I'm not like the biggest nerd, but we just grew up in that era where it was just given. Like, you know who the Sinister Six is. You know who Kraven the Hunter is. You know who this person is. Like, didn't you watch Spider-Man on Fox when you got home from school? Like, I thought we all did, you know what I mean? And that's how we know. And from a comic book stance, I didn't know all the ins and outs, but it just seemed really, really cool. And again, I was just paying a lot of attention to the market. The market was really hot at this time. Everything is going up. Everything is pumping. How did you guys do on these? Did you guys hit any of them?
On these right now, just on any of these, especially if you're just getting into the app, these have all 6 of these comics have really good price points, and on all of them, from common to, I wouldn't say ultra rare and secret rare, but from common to uncommon to rare, you can get some really good, some low mints at a really good price, because these haven't pumped yet. But like all the other comics, there's only 30,000. There literally is not a lot. And they, you know, the Kraven arc, this is one of the most iconic series in Spider-Man of all the comics. This particular series, this 6 series.
So I think Veve was smart with this drop by doing the arc, because Kraven the Hunter is getting his own series, his own movie soon, his right? Movie's coming out for his Sony Spider-Verse. And then kind of making the public aware to this, because I didn't know about it, and I still haven't read them all. I actually bought almost all of them. I've sold them since. I have all 6. Really stacked.
Yeah, I have all 6.
The Web of Spider-Man number 32. I just kept on drop day. I mean, actually one night, someone was just dumping them, so I was just sniping them on the market for under $30 for 4 digits. Everyone I would see. And I ended up selling them. I pretty much broke even on these because they pumped with the rest of the comics that week, and then they eventually dropped down like everything else this month.
Well, yeah, when I saw that it was coming out and it was going to be
Did you guys hit any of them though? Did you guys
no,
hit
didn't hit
anyone?
on
I
any.
didn't hit
Just
any of them
went
too.
sniping on the
Missed on
market
every
after.
single one.
And I feel like a lot of people do on a lot of drops anyways. But for this series, it was like, all right, I'm going to complete this series from day one when they dropped the first one. I'm like, all right, I'm going to complete this series for sure. And then by Wednesday, I'm already 3 comics in, committed to completing it. They're like, we're going to drop the Battle Batman. The Battle statue is coming out the next day after the 6th. After the 6th issue comes out.
That's,
it's like, man.
so this is kind of like.
It transitions to that next step after too. Like when you're picking and choosing, I made it a point. Like, no, I'm going to get it no matter what. Low mints, trying to snipe people, trying to snipe, see where it's at. And then it's like, oh, I got to put 120 in for sure because I have to try for that.
So what was crazy about that week, they give us all those comics, right? Everyone has a different thing, how they feel about it. Some people don't care. Some people, everyone, but the market's hot. And then, boom, Battle Statue comes out, right? The announcement. The market doesn't know how to react. And I remember paying attention. I'm like, man, there's a lot of comics. If the prices don't start going down by like the 3rd drop, that just means everyone's going crazy. And by that 3rd comic on that 3rd day, I think the floor on it when it dropped was like 30. First it came out like $50. Then it dropped to like 42, 40, 42. And I'm like,
40,
when's it going to go down to 20? Like most comics end up at 27, $17 to $20, 22 if they're popular on, Spider-Man always does good. You got to factor it in. But I'm like, man, $40? Hell no. Hell no, I ain't paying this. I'm like waiting for it to drop. Still sticks. 37, but whatever. By the time they announced the Batman, the 4th day one, or the one on Thursday, price goes down just a little bit. By Friday, just a little bit when they dropped the last one. So I was like, oh man, something else is coming. So like, I don't know. People know, right? They say the Batman and then they announce the Mickeys and Friends. That's when the squeeze officially kicks in.
Yep.
And
But
so
that
we got the
Batman,
battle.
though, but that Batman jumped right when the market opened. It was above. It was 1K was the floor, just immediately.
And right now you get one for like
And
what,
then-
900?
So it's still up there. But like I said, that I was telling my brother the other day that particular drop, it's a 1 of 1. So if you own that statue, you own the whole collection.
Right, you get the set.
That's one
points.
of those.
You get
There's
a
not
set.
a lot of them. It's a full set.
So, I mean, that one I was actually on the plane ride home from New York, and I was on the Wi-Fi on JetBlue, and it was actually pretty fast Wi-Fi. So I thought maybe I got a chance. I'm closer to the satellites, and nope, it gave me the Wheel of Death, the same thing everyone else got. So that one was interesting. You kind of saw the market change. Then we had Strange Academy. I thought this one was really cool. I stacked this one too. I bought like 4 of them.
This one held
All
strong
4
too
digits.
as well.
This
A
one's
little
held
bit
pretty
high.
good.
It was a.
But
up
I
there.
did make a mistake on this. I bought the ultra rare variant for $190, and I think right now you could get it for $130 or $140. So that one took a dip. If I had been a little more patient, I don't know what I was thinking, blowing like $250, $300. That's what I'm saying. The drop days are kind of dangerous on comics because they
Unless you
move.
snipe. Yeah.
They move in a certain way, and we'll talk more about that down the line. But like, if you're looking at it, this is from my perspective, and honestly, the data suggests it too. When you first come out, not enough listings, you're gonna have high prices. There's no point to buy unless you're
the
buying
ultra rare is
under the floor and you
right
want to
now
just
for Strange Academy ultra rare 135.
right 190. I got it at 190, 196 or 198. Anyway. Not the best buy of my life, right? It's cool, whatever. Moving past the Strange Academy, all I'm saying with drop days on comics, just wait it out. If you wait a few hours, you'll get them for cheaper. If you wait a few days,
unless you can snipe. If you see a good deal, like I said, someone putting a sub 500 for $30, no matter what, just
see
snipe
right
that.
now, I could agree with that, Ben, and I'm
Snipe
saying
that.
your technique, I respect it. Having all of those triple digits, you just have money in the bank. I mess with that heavy. But my perspective on it has changed since watching a couple new videos and hearing the comic.
No, but a snipe.
people.
I mean, like you're not gonna.
No,
go
but
wrong
I'm still saying, like,
getting one
why do
for-
I want to have 20, say, triple digits, like say how you have them right now? I think going forward right now is that we're going to catch levels of big comics that we're never going to see again. So instead of blowing 60 to 80 to 100, 150 on these okay comics, sub 5%, really cool, or sub
No,
500,
like all right. Here's an
you're
example.
better
That-
off holding
no,
a
no,
common
no.
of, say,
This is what I'm saying.
Miles Morales,
like
or
well,
Spider-Man
we'll
1.
get to it, but you can get deals. Is what I'm saying. Like, I got a sub 5% of the Falcon one when it dropped for $27.
Right.
That was at the time that was only $5 above the floor. But that's $27. You cannot go wrong. I'm not gonna regret that one regardless. Not locking down a lot.
No,
of
no,
money.
yeah.
And I'm talking about those
and
snipes on
certain
drop
mints
day.
aren't only going to
'Cause
be
some
available
people
on drop
do
day.
those on drop day. They just like they follow that low floor and they'll
Oh, yeah,
put
you're
up
right.
they'll put a
On
low
the new
mint.
drop, that's our
following-
opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling
Because
you.
too,
Go for
like
those.
right now, say Wonder Woman, she hasn't been out for over a month. Right now, if you go look at the lowest mints, they probably list. There's probably like 20 people who have listed a sub 100. Give it like 9 months, there'll only be like 5-10 people who would list a sub 100, and then the price is gonna be ridiculous. Right now, there's a bunch of people listing them because it's still so young, it's still so fresh. Like, try to go get a sub 100 of the common Spider-Man, you know, the first edition. Hell no, those things are probably going for 20 grand, you know, like people know what they got. Anyway, we move down the list to one of my favorite days, the day that I'll never forget, the Mickey and Friends drop, the lenticulars. How'd you guys do on
It
those
glitched.
lenticulars?
It kicked me out. It literally didn't even give me a chance. It like glitched. My app glitched, and it was the first time I ever been kicked out like that. It didn't even let me rebound.
Yeah, that was a bad weekend for me. I was living in the FOMO. Other people getting the drops, and was like, man, I'm happy for you. God, yeah, go over there, kick a pillow, fucking scream at my pillow.
So like I said, when you don't get the drops, like when I didn't get, honestly, there was no drop I could say that I was really sad about. I think the Deadpool one, when I didn't preload my gems, that's another story. But like the Deadpool, I hit that one during the 12 days of Veve. I almost hit every Veve drop except for like the super rare ones, you know. But on the 12 days of Veve, I just got lucky that week. Anyway, I lost that one because I didn't load the gems. I tried to load the gems. I lost Deadpool. I was pretty bummed out. Besides that, I have not had a drop where I'm like, you know what? It don't, like, this one hurt me. You know what I mean? Like, no, this Mickey and Friends one, this one was famous right here. So here goes my Mickey and Friends story. I get my girlfriend Celeste to do the drop with me, but I use her phone because she has a newer phone and a nicer iPhone. So I'm like, all right, her phone just moves a little quicker. So I go, all right, give me your phone, babe. I'm going to use yours. You use mine. I'm pretty sure your phone's going to get it, and you're a newer user than me. You've only won one other drop before this, which was a Specimen one. That Specimen one, she won that one on her phone. Actually, I used her phone in that scenario too, and she used mine. And I mean, honestly, looking back, I probably shouldn't have used that silver bullet. Like, if you got a new user, make sure you get, like, sign them up now. Don't let them do any drops. And then on the biggest drop, get them to do it. You know what I mean? And they're probably going to hit that drop and a rare because Veve algorithm, it says it's doing it a certain way, but I'm pretty sure like they know, right? That's why certain people get kicked out. They get mad about it. But supposedly they're saying that like the server, since it can't handle it, what it does is it just kicks 30% out automatically. Just goes like 30%, y'all ain't going to get it. Get the hell out. Now I'm going to try to service the other 70% or whatever it is. And then you might get it. But when you go and you click and it just says, it just gives you the boot. It's just because it just blocked you out.
Kicks you out. Makes you mad.
So anyway, I get Celeste to do it. I get her phone. She gets mine. I tell her what to do, which is the space gate. You know, hit that little space in between on the blind box. We both hit it. I'm like, go out, go out. We're already practicing. Go out and go back in. At 10 seconds, we'll go out, we'll go back in. We hit. Boom. Mine says processing, and it starts putting up the green box. Hers says processing, putting up the green box. Hell yeah. and we're just waiting because it says, oh, going, sending order, processing payment, boom, mine crashes. Doesn't work. What the hell? I go and Celeste goes through, but she's using my phone. I'm like, oh, hell. I'm like, well, hell yeah, you got it on my phone. Oh, it sucks for you, baby. You know what? You still got the buy now button. On mine, I still had the buy now. On hers that it hit, she's using my phone. The one she's using, the buy now button's gone. So I have her phone, which didn't hit. It kicked me out, but I got buy now. So I go, all right, screw it. I'm waiting for the 4 minute. I actually missed the 4 minute because Baby Mickey's, I'm like so hyped. I don't even like, I'm like, we're like eating breakfast. This is 8 a.m., on the West Coast time. So if you guys know, 8 a.m., it's tough for us. People say we got the best one. But it's like, nah, hell no. Like, we got to do breakfast where some of us are going to work. Like, it's tough on the West Coast, 8 a.m. The other day, we were golfing for the DC Cover Girls. And we're warming up, and I'm literally looking at my phone, at 7:57, like ready for everything. And then I'm talking to Ione, taking some practice swings. And before I know it, I look up, and it's 8:01. I'm like, oh my God, I missed it. Anyway, I missed the 4 minute rebound. Baby Mickey, I smell his diaper. It's full, so it's time to change the baby. So I put the world clock on the phone that already got it. And I have Celeste's phone, which still has the rebound. And I put the world clock, and I'm changing Baby Mickey's diaper, his stinky, stinky ass diaper. And I look over, and right at 8 minutes, like when 8 minutes hit on the clock with the world clock, I reached over and tapped, like simultaneously. And I have I'm holding his legs up, about to wipe his butt. And I just see it and I go, doop. And then I grab the wipies, I look over, and the green box jumps up. And I'm like, what? I hit buy, right? And when I go to hit buy, because I believe they were $40, no?
Yeah.
Celeste in her account had 82 gems that she had put in for the battle statue. Because I already had put $40. And I told her, put the rest for the battle statue. I want you to go for it. She's like, I put $40. Is that enough? I go, no, it's 120. You got to put 40 more. Nah, I don't want to go for it because she was like doing brunch or something. So I was like, just don't worry about it. Just don't put the money in and then whatever. But she had 82. So when I go on the rebound to buy, I go press buy and it says $42. And I'm like, did it already take it? I'm like, damn, good thing I got 42 because to load the gems would be disastrous. So I push buy and it leaves me with $2. I'm like, $2? I thought she had 82, so I didn't really think about it. I'm like, whatever. We got a rebound. I'm like, I'll go for the 12-minute rebound. So I tried for the 12, didn't get it, but I didn't have enough gems anyway. It would probably kick me out. So I was like, just be happy. So I click out, refresh the app, exit the app, go in again, and to go see my little red tag, and it says 2 pending orders. So the first order actually went through. The second one was a rebound, and I still had the one on my phone. So Celeste had now 2 of them, and I got 1. So I walk away with 3 Mickey Mouse, and they were all Mickey common lenticulars, including the one that she hit on my phone, which is the 2222. So which is it?
And for those keeping score, this is just the proof of what type of brother he is, because we were mad we got kicked out, and he was like, you got 3? There's 3 of us. We could each have one. That'd be cool. How many brothers in the world? All 3 of them have one. And he's like, nah, I don't want it.
Yeah, better luck next time, boo.
I was going to pay an extra 10 gems on that.
Well, you got 3 Super Bowl tickets, so we're 3 brothers. So Disney hit us with that. That's my lenticular story right there.
Then it was Daredevil.
25
appearance of Elektra as Daredevil.
So I passed on that
Elektra.
one. Did you pick that one up? Sniper?
Nah, I picked one up for like $13 just on the market just to have one.
Nice.
When the floor rises, I'll sell it. Whatever, man.
And then
the next one I hit.
And then the next we got Mighty Marvels, which is crazy because if you remember that week, they're doing the Omi migration. And the Mighty Marvels was actually supposed to drop on Friday and then the Mickey Mouse Saturday. So they announced Mickey Mouse on Wednesday. They go, or I think Tuesday. They go, yo, by the way,
the migration
Mickey
gonna
Mouse
go
is
through,
coming.
that's right.
The Mickey Mouse is coming. Yeah, I remember this. They go, Mickey Mouse is coming on Tuesday. The market goes crazy Wednesday. It starts to squeeze. You got the Omi migration happening. Then you have the comic that's supposed to drop Thursday, doesn't drop. Then you got Spider-Man Mighty Marvels. They announced that Thursday. So they go, oh, by the way, tomorrow, or I think Wednesday. They did Wednesday. So Tuesday they said Mickey Mouse. Then Wednesday they go, oh, plus you're getting Mighty Marvel's Spider-Man edition. Friday, the day before Mickey Mouse. Like, what the hell? So everyone's like, man, now I gotta save gems for this.
No, they did them on the same day. Remember, one was at 8, the other was at noon.
No.
The Marvel Mighties was at noon. Remember, they dropped the Daredevil in the morning and then Marvel Mighties.
Yeah.
Same day.
On Sunday.
Yeah.
So they ended up moving it from Friday. They still kept the Mickey one.
Yeah, they kept Mickey for Saturday.
Which is crazy because if they had done Friday, maybe I even get lucky and my luck goes and I hit like 3 Spider-Man. But it's not the same as hitting.
And the
3
day
Mickey
after was the
Mouse.
Lunar New Year stamps after Marvel Mighties. But Marvel Mighties I did hit rare. Market hasn't moved too much for Black Hat, but
People kind of sleeping on Black Hat.
It's all right.
But that was
I mean,
like a really sick set. That's why.
$13. She's going for about 100 right now, so I mean it's still a good flip. But I don't plan on selling her anytime soon. Then next they hit us with the Lunar New Year stamps from the Postal Service. I also got kicked out of this one actually. It was only $6, and yeah, it kicked me. I had no luck.
Yeah, I didn't hit a Lunar stamp. I bought one in the aftermarket on a dip, and then ended up selling like for like $5 more. So I got rid of that one. After that, we had the Captain America number 117, and that was the first drop in February to kick off Black History Month. And we had the Lunar stamp panels. I didn't hit on either one of these. Actually, haven't hit on any of the February drops. Not even one.
And
wow.
for that Captain America, it's the first appearance of Falcon.
First appearance of Falcon, yep.
It's also an FA comic.
So I did not pick that one up. I'm
slept
holding off. It's somewhat slept on. We had the Lunar New Year. Then we had the Imperial Lotus Dragon. I actually didn't go for this one at all either. I forgot about it. I was like cleaning up the house. Like,
Me too. I missed
whatever.
the Imperial Lotus one.
And then we had Amazing Spider-Man number 16, the first appearance of homegirl. What's her name? Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel, which was a cool one. I actually picked up a sub 5% for like $30 on drop day. So yeah, I really like this cover, dude. I think it looks dope. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pick me up one of these. I've been anti pick stuff up. I've been more on get the grail ones, get the big comics while you still can. But yeah, that was one I thought was pretty cool.
Was DC's Cover Girls,
which you hit, no?
No, I didn't hit. I did not.
We're in the house,
but
no?
I mean,
When we in the house and we missed it?
These have all not like super pumped. They're all somewhat attainable right now.
Another example, like,
because yeah, I think Batgirl's under $100, 100 gems, and Wonder Woman's around 2 something, I believe.
right.
Which compared to the other Wonder Woman that first dropped on the app,
Honestly,
that
I
one
love
kinda
this
pumped a little
Supergirl,
crazy,
dude.
but
I wanted the Wonder Woman too. I'm glad. I was about to buy her at like $290. I think she's down to like $200 right now. So that's the ride. Look, where's she at right now? 191. Literally, she was $290
Yep.
like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So that's when did they drop? They dropped Saturday, right? So they drop Saturday. They get the buzz right out the market. Then they dip a little. Then they get like another run up where like people are kind of FOMO'd in who couldn't get in.
But also, then the thing about that Wonder Woman though, slept on because she's more of a pair up with the if someone had the Superman NFT, the one on the app, it looks more like it because the last Wonder Woman that dropped, what kind of design was it?
Yeah,
it's
but
like
Supergirl's holding way better.
all
Way
of
better.
them. No, I'm just saying all of them compared to the other ones. What?
Batgirl, actually heard Crypto Pro, he said that this is the outfit Batgirl's going to wear in the new Batman, which doesn't seem likely because
No, I don't
this
think so.
looks like old school, like more throwback. And the new Batman looks all dark and gritty. But that dude, you know, Crypto Pro, he's dope. I like him. Another YouTube I like, and I like I follow his videos and his stacking methods. And he got in early. He made a lot of money. But I think he's another dude who kind of like the investor side, you know, and he doesn't really know some of the more ins and outs of the collector side and the you know, the geek side, the nerd side, the fan side, the little things that make these things super dope, super cool, that give it notoriety, that ultimately push that price in the thing that he likes, you know, those returns. You know, it's good to know all the ins and outs of it. And if you educate yourself, you can end up buying some stuff that might be worth a lot of money down the line, which is great. But ultimately, it's for clout. It really is just to say you got it, you know. And I've met real collectors in real life, only a few, you know, like. But recently, my, you know, Celeste's homegirl, her dad is a collector. He got a bunch of Tom Brady rookie cards. He got a bunch of Pokemon cards. He's a grown man. He's a grown grandpa, man. You know what I mean? But he loves it. It's like a middle finger to like traditional investors and into like working like haha, I got this card that's worth more than your 401k, or like is worth more than your car, you know, like. And you could see it. It's this energy where, you know, it's cool. Like, yeah, I did this. Like, you know how much this Pokemon card's worth? Like, this is worth $7,000. And in another 5 years, this thing will be worth more than. He's all telling me. It's like the new Charizard drop.
Well, that's how the accessibility of this plays its part too. Because, like I said, if you're trying to collect something, or you want something, a specific thing or a specific number, specific min, you would have to hunt it down and find it somehow. And you're at the mercy of the dude selling it no matter what. Because maybe, like you said, 5 people are selling it out of the 1,000 that hold it. So you're right there already. But the market, you could just go on your phone and see, all right, this person selling it, I want it, I'm going to go get it. Yeah, exactly. But that's my point. Like,
I think what's going to happen is there's going to be less listings where we're going to see no listings. But also we're going to see listings that are just ridiculous. Like people who, like more of those ridiculous, the flex post, you know, like flex listing, as people have said. People put up stuff just to say, like me, if I put up the 222 at 2.2 million, it's just a flex. I don't really think it's going to sell at that, but that's equivalent to not posting it at all. You know, so you have to really ask yourself, there's 300 listings. How many of them are actually serious about selling? Pretty much there's even less people who are actually, there's like that floor people. Then there's a little above floor and then there's a fools who are selling it with dignity, like, this is what it's worth. I'm cutting just a little off. You know what you're getting. I know what you're getting. This is what it's worth. Then you have the fools who are like, have no idea and are just posting ridiculous numbers. And then you have the fuck you, I'll never sell this. You know,
I have
it's worth $1 million.
My rare black cat listed at $9K.
$9K?
Yeah.
So if you want to follow Ben,
I don't think anyone will go by it. But I also have my invisible woman, the rare, listed at $9K as well, just because they're rare. So right. I'll just put it up there. Let me get the train going.
That's why it's important to put your listing up. So like I was saying about the lenticular, to go back to that, the 2222. If every day I post that up, say in the morning, and I put a new price, and I put 22,000, I put 12,000, and I keep doing that, some fool's gonna be scrolling the same way we're scrolling, and when it refreshes, he's gonna see that 22222 and see my price, and the more you post, reposting and doing that on something you want to sell is a good habit to have, because you may run into that person who they weren't even looking for that one. I know it's happened to me. Shoot, at least a few times. I got 400 or 500 gems. I'm like, I'm getting this, and then I go to that damn browse page and I see something good. I'm like, oh man, someone's undercutting the floor. Like, look at this mint. And you're like, oh, and then you look at everything else like, oh damn, no one. Like I remember seeing one, like I said, some fool undercut the floor.
Sometimes to not fake myself out, I'll refresh and be like, it's still there. No one else sniping it.
But then someone buys it like 1 minute later. You're like, damn, it was a good ass price. Then they relist it for $100 more. You're like, damn, it was a good ass price.
Happens all the time.
So let's see, just to go back. Then we had the Pilly Fantasy. I didn't mess with that one.
Me either.
Even now, I mean,
you know, it might be a good buy, man. We might look back and be like, those things are worth a lot of money. But at the same time, too, it's been my philosophy to like buy stuff buy stuff you believe in. It's going to be easier to hold because guarantee that Pilly thing hits 80, then it hits 200, and you're like, oh, I'm going to hold. Then it hits 100, you end up letting it go for 100. Because you're like, man, it was at 2, but you know what? I'm still up, so let me just sell it.
A lot of people do that.
And then you're like, and then it hits 400 next time. You're like, oh, I should have kept it. Like, it happens all the time.
The thing to do is if you're new and you don't have the gems like that and you're gonna put it aside though and kind of build to get something, keep an eye on it, keep checking on it. But if you're gonna go for something because you think it might blow up but you have no interest in it, it's like right now with the gem squeeze and with everything's out, some people selling 1,000 gems for $600 US, like, you know, hit me up on Venmo and like all these different avenues that people are trying to just unload their stuff and get their money out. Like, you should look at something that is low right now, because there are some that are like, I see the uncommon Spider-Man hanging from the web 645. Saw it earlier today, and I was like, dang, you know, like even the common one, like you said,
Dude,
is the best pose. Where if you could put them on top of the building, like that pose is so awesome.
Like
that's
$750 right now.
Exactly.
I looked at my collection. I said, y'all about to get sold.
So
right
you
now.
get me, like, instead of buying up, like you're gonna buy 3 or 4 of one. It's like, all right, that's one that's like you can never, like, don't even be mad about it. Like my biggest buy that I've done. And the one where I was like impulse, like I gotta just go for it. Let me see, not refreshing, just, you know, I'm just gonna add the gems and go for it. Was Amazing Spider-Man #1, sub 5%, sub 4%, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, whatever. And it was maybe like 110, I think, above the floor. But for that mint number, you know, it was just one that I can feel confident in. It's like, set it and forget it. Just leave it there, and we'll see where it lands later. Because later, I'm gonna wish I had this one. Because it's so low, people. Why would you buy above the market like that, above the floor? But it's like, for that mint, for that comic.
Well, the reason too, and I said that was a great buy, by the way. And the reason that I really love that buy too, when you shared it, I was like, man, that's a great one, because that was its previous all-time high. So you just scored a comic that by general rule, should be worth 1 to 2 times its floor, and you just paid its previous all-time high to get it. It's like, bro, like even that dude who placed it is like 300. You just like, that doesn't make sense. 330, 350. Get a little bit more above where it just, give a little speculative space. But to price it at right where it was on its last pump, it's like, bro, why would you do that?
Some people don't think.
But hey, man, that's, you know,
and if any of you
maybe
guys
they
are
wanted
watching,
to slang that.
you know,
They wanted to slang that to be able to make another move or something. Like I sold a few things recently where I took a loss on, which I haven't really done in VV. Most of the stuff I've gotten, because I bought in December and early January, all was up. You know, even the comics, like I was saying, I was able to get Fantastic Four #5 with Doom on the cover, you know, the Dr. Doom first appearance for $70 right before it took off. And that was already, like, at the time, one of the more expensive comics. Now it's at 140, like that's its floor. It's not going to go much lower than that, 140 to 170 range right now. And that thing was over 200 something in the last pump. So I just kind of got lucky on that buy. But anyway, like, there's certain floors right now where dude, if you can get in right now, its previous all-time high was 50% up. You're going to at least get there, and then things are going to get interesting, you know? Anyway, to round it up, we didn't go to the Pele Fantasy. I didn't get nothing, or we did it. Then we had the Hero for Hire, the FA of Luke Cage. Another one I did not get the drop.
That one. Me either.
And I passed up on buying it in the market.
Haven't bought one yet, but I will. I really like the ultra rare cover. It's pretty dope.
Awesome. While we are nearing 2 hours on the podcast, which I pictured this thing to be about 90 minutes to 2 hours, so we're right on schedule. I don't really want it to go any longer than that, although I know I could literally talk about this stuff with these fools
the first episode
all day. But it is that first episode, so cheers.
Just so you know, me and Ben are sharing a mic, so I've been looking at the sound bites, like, Veve Mescal talks a lot for sure, but we can't even jump in on them right now, so that's why it's like, oh yeah, go on, tell your story.
Kind of like having them having them on the leash.
Sorry,
for
we're just
now.
gonna grab his mic next time too.
Nah,
But
next time we will
tomorrow
have.
is the
we
Black
will
Panther
have,
drop, and I will be definitely trying to snipe some of those tomorrow. Like I know we have our
Do you
comic
think it?
look
You
on
think
it.
it's worth it though? Right now.
Do I think it's worth it? Yes. Why? Because our Black Panther passed away already, and that plays into so many things as far as
Damn,
like
his
just
secret rare looks pimp. Look at
even
that.
though it's the comic, even though like I just feel like
That's
for
great.
like it's one of those. It's for me it's one of those like yeah, I'm gonna make sure I have one. Like I'd rather not wait on it. Like for what Black Panther is for the movie coming out later this year in November. Like yeah, it's not his first appearance, but it's like it's
Right.
it's definitely
And
one to
for
go
the
for.
record.
It is a first appearance though. Like there's two.
It has
appearances
some,
right there,
but
but that's something though.
his first appearance officially is Fantastic Four. Is it 52?
It's still Black Panther #1 though. It's not like it's number 10. It's not. It's still number
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, it's Fantastic Four number 52 is his first appearance, and right now the physical with a CGC rating of 4.5. Think about that. That means that's like sub 15,000. You know what I mean? Is going for $1,300. So that one, when Fantastic Four 52 comes out, if they give us that one this week, that's one drop day snipe. Buy it. Anything under $50 is a huge win.
Snipe it.
You snipe it, $60. If you get you a rare or an ultra rare for $100, $150, you're gonna be glad you did. That thing is gonna be huge. It's just how how it is.
This is where the research goes into because on the app, people just go for drops because there's a drop. So you're just gonna go for it. You're gonna go for it. $7, 7 gems. You're gonna go for it. But when they're reselling it and they're trying to make a quick flip, when the floor goes up to 25, they already tripled their investment right there. So they're gonna sell that. But some of them don't care what mint they got. They don't know what they have. They don't know about how much the actual comic costs, the physical one in real life. So just keep that in mind. People
Right.
sell what they don't know. They're just throwing it out there to make a quick little profit.
So
and
so-
their mistake can be your come up.
So tomorrow's drop, we'll give you guys our rundown how we did. Thank you to my brothers, of course. Thank you to everyone who's
They
listening.
fuck the bots. Yeah.
Yes, FTB, fuck the bots. You know what?
I guess we'll
This
just
show's
adopt
for
the
adults.
FTB.
I'm not
And,
about to fucking take off all these
He
damn
wants to edit all the
these
curse
words. I'm not. I just don't want a bunch of curse words. I think you get flagged for
you
that.
just put a disclaimer.
So at least just try to
There
like
is some
have.
stuff, but I'm very adamant on the fuck the bots part because
Okay. Also, this is another thing I want to do.
Everybody.
I think next week we're gonna have three plays of the week, like things we bought, things we're looking at, or things we're thinking about. We'll cover them next week because we are kind of running out of time now. Or actually, we're not really running out of time. I mean, we could go as long as we want. We have 8 minutes before it's at the 2-hour mark.
No, I'll just tell you right now. The play
What's
that
the
we're
play?
all looking at, working towards, trying to get to is a golden moment. We were trying to get a golden moment. How that looks,
So
or
we
whatever.
don't
the only
own a
alternate,
golden moment.
The only alternate is if
Which
you
is
could
another
get a
part
good
of our point.
Spider-Man one because those are like
Who are we, Cisco?
for sure.
Who are we?
The Veve
We're not.
Bros.
We're the Veve Bros, but we're not whales. We're not.
No, we're not. We're the
not-
regular guy. We're the
We're
dude.
not these dudes who can blow 100K and just get whatever they want and this and that. Like, we got to be smart. We got to really measure how much we're
people who
moving.
bought the lenticular Mickey for a G right after the drop.
Dude,
A minute after the
left
drop, they
and
bought it for a
right.
G. We're not you guys. Like
$1,000 out the gate.
Yep.
Like, you want to
1,000
know
gems,
how?
just like nothing. Right after $40 into it, they paid 1,000 gems.
That's why
for a
too. Like,
$40
that's why I bought me a Minnie Mouse.
right out the gate.
That's why I bought
Yeah.
me a Minnie Mouse. I was like, dude, there's no
We know
way.
you people are on that.
So I still own 3 lenticulars. I still got 2 Mickeys and 1 Minnie. And I'm looking at Donald right now at 700. Like, ooh, calm down. I think he's at 8 something, but like, calm down under 7. Hit 650. Hit 600. Like, I'll look over at my zombie Spider-Man. Like, hey, you got 200? I got 2 of you. One of you might have to go so I could get this Donald, because I could get one of you guys again. But Disney moves at a different pace. And that's one thing that's gonna be a theme we're gonna talk about. Disney moves at a different pace and everything else. and y'all people are gonna see and put that respect on Disney's name. Like, it just is what it is. You can hate them, but they make big money. You
These
know,
are the first Disney NFTs.
Well, the thing is too, real quick, like before we get out of here, like I used to have a Batman sticker on my car when I was 18, right out of high school and stuff. And one thing, you don't see Spider-Man stickers on cars all the time and things like that, but you see the annual pass holders and you see the things like people want to flaunt it. They want to do it. So when we have new people who are the Disney freaks and the Disney like complete, you know, like that's their whole thing. To them, it is worth it. It is like,
Once
oh, I'm gonna
Disney
get it now.
Promotes Veve,
No, then that's gonna be something completely.
Then the
nuclear.
floodgates
plus
open
just off of
once they
supply and
promote
demand.
it.
Once supply and demand, when you have more active users. Right now we got 2 million. You know, when we get to 8 million, 10 million, I mean the numbers on the things are gonna go crazy. So if you're Steamboat Willie right now is worth a G, in a downtrend it's worth a G, right? Or 900. Okay, what do you think it's gonna be when the market's up? And now factor that in with 5 times more users, 10 million users. Like, yeah, don't tell me the thing ain't gonna be worth 6-7 grand. Like, yes, there's gonna be way more people who want it and are willing to pay just to say they're one of the people who have it. Because right now, to pay 700 to be one of the people who have it, you know, a lot of people have it. A lot of people in the app got it. We got it. A lot of people have it. When there's 5 times more users, just you're gonna run into less people that got it just on the regular. And Steamboat Willie's already pretty much right there. Other foods can buy it or have waited. Dude, I mean, after the drop, it was like at 250, 350. It hung around at 350 forever. That's why I'm looking at these lenticulars like, okay, if Steamboat hung around at 350 forever and then just decided to 1x like nothing, 2-3x over before it came down, but for sure 1x from where it's at now, like where it kind of settled after the drop, right? After the spike, after the low, after another spike, and then it settles. 350, 400. And now it's at 750, 800. These lenticulars are going to do the same thing. They're at 500 right now, 500, 600. They're easily going to be right there at 1,000, 1,200, 1,200, 1,300. Once they can make it through this next little cycle, like the next little leg up, those things are going to be all worth a G. So I have way more confidence in betting on that than betting on other things, or maybe having to wait for those other things. They're going to catch up because Disney set the market. Because people are talking about, damn, Disney's worth this much. That conversation is going to get more people involved, which is going to raise everything else up. But those things are going to
let's just
set
consider Disney the Bitcoin of this, and then the other ones the altcoins.
Well, I mean,
But-
Spider-Man and
but-
Batman are up there too. They're the Bitcoins
They do go
certain
big.
ones,
Yeah.
but
That's what I'm saying.
Spider-Man though,
but
dude,
Disney's
he's
just a for sure lock.
the number
to all of
one.
them.
But remember who owns Marvel? Marvel's amazing. Who owns them? Who's making money off of them? It's still Disney. So like it's still the head of the monster. Like it's so you have to keep that in mind. Like they're gonna do what's best for their brand, and then Marvel's just one of them that's under them. But anyway, another little thing I wanted to throw at you guys is we should all become Omi homies. And what we should do is this. Every time we meet up, we should throw in 20 or 25 bucks. What we'll do is we'll buy Bitcoin. We'll transfer it over to Bitforex, before they list it on more exchanges, and we'll just buy Omi. Every week we'll do $75 worth of Omi, right? After, let's just say, the 10th episode, we'll have 750. Then we wait for Omi to 4x. And then when we take that, what would it be? 1,500,
3K around there.
3K, and we buy us. I don't know if Golden Moments will still be 3K at that time, as long as that takes 10 weeks. That's 10 weeks plus the time it takes to 4x. So who knows? But we'll spend 3,000 towards a collectible. What do you guys think, Omi homies? Then on the next podcast, what we could do is we'll do that and we'll start the podcast. And as we start it, I'll buy Omi on the podcast. So then we can kind of, because it does take, you know, you have to buy it, you have to transfer it. The transfer takes a minute, and then, you know, buying it and then putting it out, whatever. And we'll write down the number of how much Omi I bought. So we'll probably be around, you know, for $75. I think I'll get like, it's half a penny right now or a sixth of a penny. So whatever that is, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have that calculation in my head.
100 per dollar, so $75 should get us 7,500 times 2, like 14,000, 13,000 to 14,000 shares of coins of Omi. You know what I mean? Or we just hold it till it hits $1, and then when Omi hits $1, like in 2-3 years, we take that 13 grand and we do whatever the hell we want with it, or we do something with it. But that's what we'll do while we're doing this. And when we'll be Omi homies, I'll hold it in the wallet, but it'll still be a part of. And then even as we're doing that, we're getting liquidity. And then if I could be a million coin holder, I could lease out these collectibles and have more utility too. I think they're saying too, like if you are able to stake it, if you have 1 million, you could stake 1 million Omi, stake it, and then you could use the points you get from staking it to buy land in the metaverse, in the Veveverse. Lots of cool stuff. Like I said, we could probably talk about this all night long, all day long. But I want to thank everyone who's been tuned in. If you went through this whole 2 hours with us, shouts out to you wherever you're listening from. We all Omi homies, and we all Veve crazies like the rest of us.
The Veve Bros first episode.
The Veve Bros first episode. Cheers, guys. This was dope. Any last things to add, Cisco, Ben?
Fuck the bots.
Fuck the bots. We'll talk more about, you know what, next week. Let's do next week's already. We got our Veve plays to talk about. We got the FTBs. We'll talk a little bit about the Medium article that Veve released about the bots. And you'll be interested to know they actually said they shut down 300,000 accounts that were bots.
Which is crazy.
And this weekend, I saw a lot of YouTubers and people in the feed hit their drop, which was interesting because we missed them all. I didn't even go for them, but I was like, man, they just cleaned out a lot of bots. Maybe this was a really good time, a good chance to get it. Blah 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 blah. But we'll talk about that next week as well. The Veve plays, the Omi investments, and we'll just keep up. Supposedly at the end of the last AMA, you know, I forgot who it was, but he said the dude from Veve said it's gonna be a spicy end of the month. And he promised us 3 comics this week. So we've got in the announcement for 2. There might be another secret comic coming out. We'll see. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming. But yeah, we'll check in with you guys next week. Once again, it's your boy Veve Mescal.
Ben-Jammin out.
And Funk Vision 32. Peace.
Thank you guys, the Veve Bros, and we are gone.